What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the Hope Shot. Man, I hope you guys had a great weekend. I had a lot of family in town, so it's like 50-50, right? No. Sometimes it'd be like that, It's just busy, having a moment to sit and chill, but it was a great day. I went out to a meeting this morning, man, celebrate somebody that was celebrating a year. It's always a good time when we get to celebrate people. So, Caesar, will you read that clarity statement for us, my friend?
Anything for you, Justin.
You sure you have it not in a box, right?
The Hope Shot Clarity Statement. We here at the Hope Shot are a group of people in recovery spreading inspiration. We come from all different walks of life and pathways of recovery. Our verbiage may be different at times, but we all have one thing in common. Recovery is a lifestyle. We support all pathways of recovery. It doesn't matter how you get from A to Z, just get there. And thank you for being a part of our Hope Shot family.
Appreciate you, Caesar. And if nobody got that, but Caesar just moved into a new house and he has everything packed up. That's where that came from. Just so you know. If you guys just check on,
I can't find anything. Nothing.
yeah, you can't even find the password to his email either. It's just weird.
Well, that's just my normal chaotic life. That if I had named it all that one name, I would have known it, but I didn't.
I know the name.
Yeah, we know the name.
We won't talk about that. But I remember that one, like I told you I would.
Okay, moving on.
Right? Yeah, moving on. Nothing to see here, people. If you guys just jumping on, say what's up, let us know you're here. We got Rachel in the house that is going to be our guest tonight. We need some more than just testosterone up in here. So, Rachel, thank you for coming on today. Let's see. We got Diantha in the house. What's up, Diantha? You got Helen. Good to see you. Sending love to my Hope Shot peeps. We got Dustin. What's up, Hope Shot fam? Missed y'all. Missed you too, man. He set some time aside tonight to watch us. We got Ruth House in the house.
Hey.
Something like that. We got Christina. Happy birthday, Christina. Ruth House says they love you, Rachel.
Aw.
I love you.
April, have no fear. Cakes is here.
Yes. I love cakes.
We got Erica.
Erica.
Yeah.
That's definitely awesome and different.
Erica.
Hey,
What's up,
I
Erica?
can't help it. I just do it like I do, Thank you for
Erica.
correcting me. Erica.
Like Merca.
Yeah, America. Hey, what's up? Glad you're here. We got Lisa. What's up, Lisa? So she blows a kiss. Thank you. I know. I don't mean to Bircher names.
He does it to everybody. You're not unique, I promise.
If my name was Erica, I'd spell it Air Recca. Like wreck in the air. That's how I'd spell it. Okay.
We're right on point.
Oh, that's so good.
So on target for this topic.
It really is. It really is. This is so on point for this topic. All right, so we're just gonna roll out the topic as the Q topic. No. So the topic for tonight is I have to read it. What happens if the reality of who you are is just a made up story? And this topic, like I absolutely love it. Yes, love that. Erica.
I'm sorry, but it made me so happy that she typed it
so
out.
good.
It's exactly the way I wanted it to look too. So,
It's so good. She's gonna change her Facebook name now to that. Yeah. So the reality of who you are is just a made up story. Like so through all of this meditation I've been doing, like it's really just impactful. Almost every single one. I found this one chick. Her name is Tiffany Andreas, and she's got me. Like I listen to her, man. She's so impactful. And if anybody ever wants to check that out on there, what she was talking about is just being you know, what happens if we take all this bullshit off of us that we have brought, like the experiences and the human conditioning along this way of this journey from when we were kids, right? And we've been told that kids are to be seen and not heard. I mean, everybody's probably heard that in their lifetime from their parents, right? That we're just supposed to be there and that's it. So through our conditioning of our childhood and our, being brought up, and, maybe we got bullied along the way too. And especially in school, I know I did. We shut down and we put these masks on that like would protect us from the outside world, because, being bullied and telling that we're not supposed to be seen and not heard, we wanted to please them, people, and this is where the people pleasing comes from. We put these masks on to be who they want us to be, because I never want to feel that way. I don't want to feel the way I feel because of that situation, because I was trying to be who I was, right? And so through our conditioning as humans, man, we're brought up into this thing, and we put these masks and masks and masks and masks, and we're covering up and putting, instead of being our true authentic selves, we talk about it all the time of being our true authentic selves, but man, it's hard to get down to that nitty gritty of who that is, really. Even at times, man, I want to be who I am, but then I have this shame. Just like when I have a problem with crying, with emotion, right? I have a problem with it. As men, we're not supposed to, that's the thing, right? But we put on all these masks and cover it up, man, because of that shame. And instead of being who we are, and it's just being, it's just being your full self, your true self. And as they put it, as this chick put it, being your weirdo naked self without all that bullshit on, without, like, it's almost like having makeup on and taking it all off. And what you wake up in the morning is who you really are, right? Washing it away. And I thought that was like the most profound, because if you can't relate to that, man, I'm sure I don't give a crap. Every human being can relate to that in some way or another, or you're just in denial, right? And it's not just a river in Egypt, okay? Dad jokes? No? None? Okay, whatever.
I don't know if you can read my lips, but I just called you a dork.
Listen, I'm okay being a dork, man. I'm being my weirdo naked self. And that's what I'm talking about, having, and being full of, like, who gives a shit, right? Not to the point of being like overly, like, I don't give a crap what anybody says, but like just being who you are in a positive light, right? And not covering it up because you don't want people to see who you are. And it takes a lot of work to try to get to that true authentic self. I know that I'm got so much work to do and I'm barely touching the surface of it, but at least I'm working towards it. Because if you're never working towards it, then what are we doing here? We got to start working towards it in order to uncover all those things so we can be. And you never know who you might find. Like we always say, that this is the uncovering, right? The recovery is the uncovering of who we are inside, right? Because I'm a huge people pleaser, man. Like my whole life I've been people pleasing and trying to be anybody but who I am. I even hated my name, right? I hated my name, man. I never liked my last name. Everybody mess it up. Shit. Just call me whatever you want. I don't even care anymore. Like everybody mess up my name, right? And I just hated everything about me, man. And I get bullied a lot when I was growing up, and it sucked, man. And it started from when I was a kid, and I'm finally coming to a point where I could almost be me, right? Almost, because I don't think I'm ever through that threshold, and I don't know if I'll ever get there. But you know what? Just for today, I'm okay. Like today, man, I was just, I was sitting there, man. I went to the meeting this morning, man. And anytime I go to like a celebration and I have to give out a coin, right? I'm actually have to say something. And dude, I do this all the time, right? Every Sunday I can get on here and just do it, right? But I don't know what it is about it, man. It's about getting vulnerable, right? Because that's right there is that taking off those masks and letting yourself out, getting vulnerable. That's where the freedom is, right? And that's what it's about. I have to sit there and talk about you know, people and myself and like all these things. And like, but I was like, you know what? Who cares? Like, just let whatever flows flow and don't overthink it. Cause I'll get up in here quick and I'll be like trying to say some Gucci stuff. You know what I mean? Cause I don't want that. I don't want anybody to see the weird self that I really am. You know what I mean? And man, it just flowed really well today. And everything came out exactly how I was supposed to, because I didn't sit there and try to control it. I didn't sit there and try to make it about me. I didn't sit there and try to like say some Gucci shit when really I just said what was done from the heart. Finally, you know, I think that has less anxiety when that happens, man, when you actually do that, you know, and it's crazy to think like that, but that's exactly what it is, you know, and so today, man, then after that, we spent time with family, went to church, da, 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 you know, and I'm actually before, man, I'd burn up, man. I get weird as hell, man, to going to church. Okay. I get weird. Like, just I'm uncomfortable. And I'm like, why do I do that? Why? Because I've been conditioned to feel like that. I put these things in my head of what it's supposed to be like or what it is or what I don't even know. But I'm like, you know what? My wife believes in what she believes in. I'm going to go with her because she does. And that's it. And she wants me there. I'm going to be there with her. Whether I think it's whatever or whatever, you know what I mean? It doesn't matter. I went. And I was like, I was at peace, man. You know, like I was at peace for that moment. And I was at peace today. And like I was just sitting there like, and I'm like, man, I've come a long fucking way. I've come a long way. And I'm fucking quite proud of that. So
You should be.
yeah.
You
Yeah.
should. You're putting in the work, man. You know, you mind if I jump in here? Just
Yeah, dude. Yes, please. I was waiting for money. Oh, like, come on, man. Don't leave me out. Where's the water bottle?
I know everybody can relate to wearing the mask. It's not being comfortable in my own skin is the reason that I used and that I drank. You know, I had to put something in my body to change the way that I felt, to stop the hamster on the wheel in my head that overthought every single thing about me. My clothes, the way I talked, the way I laughed, whatever it was never good enough. And I overanalyzed everything about myself. So I became the chameleon. If I want you to like me, so I'm going to be more like you. And the more I did that, the more and more I lost of actually who I was. So this recovery process, you know, I get plugged into this thing and I'm on the ground floor. I've got nothing and I don't know who I am. I don't even know who I'm pretending to be anymore. I'm done. I ask for help. I accept the help. I don't put terms on the help, and I start working on this thing. And I learned that my biggest problem is how selfish and self-centered I am. And I never thought I was selfish, but what are selfish thoughts? Thoughts about myself. All I freaking thought about was myself, how the situation's going to affect me, how my clothes look, how, you know, am I funny? Can I dance? No, I can't dance. You know, what if I did? Then that might look weird. So all I'm thinking about is myself 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Then you take the drug thoughts and put that on top of it. And I'm just a hot mess. And I start working on this thing. And the selfishness starts to decrease. And my love for others increases. And when the selfishness decreases, I stop caring so much what people think about me and I start doing things for the right reason. I don't do things to please you. I do things because they're the right thing to do. Where, like Nate said before, where like before spirituality was like the lamest thing I could ever think of. Now it's the core of my life. And I don't care who knows that. You know, I'm making a change every day towards bettering my life, to becoming a better human being, to better serve my God's children. And the more I lean into that and the more I work on myself and go in that direction, the more comfortable I become in my own skin. And I attract the people that want to be around who I really am. And then I don't feel so weird because now I've attracted the other weirdos that are in the same tribe that think the same weird shit is funny. And we can we can just be ourselves around each other, and we could talk about how batshit crazy we are out in the open because we're all the same. We've all got the same quirks. We've all got the same similar pasts. We've all got, and all the masks go away. And like Justin said, it's not that I'm like, I don't give a crap what anyone thinks about me. But if I'm doing no harm and I'm only trying to put good into the world and you still don't like me, that's when I say, I don't care, because you just don't like my face or the tone of voice, or you don't like that I'm succeeding, whatever it is. That's on you. That's not on me. I'm not doing something to make you feel some type of way about me. So that's the subtle art of not giving a shit. We work so hard on ourselves and we put so much good vibes out in the world. Why would I care that you don't like me? For what? For what reason? And I can go to sleep at night and know that I did my best each day. And I can continue to work on myself and grow my circle and keep adding more weirdos into that and watch them become their authentic selves and be comfortable to be able to laugh about goofy ass shit and be able to wear what they want to wear and be who they're supposed to be, get to be fathers and mothers and aunts and uncles and friends, and find out what true friendship is and what it really means to be selfless. And then the next thing you know, the only voice that's in your head is your connection to your source telling you, hey, do this. No, don't do that. And it's not my selfish ass voice in my head worrying about myself. It's the transformation's incredible. And if I was in, I don't know, the first few months of my recovery and I listened to what I just said, I'd be like, what the hell did that guy that doesn't even make any sense. Well, it didn't make any sense to me either. Nobody explained it to me like that. They just told me what to do and I did it. And then I came to the realization one day that I stopped caring. Like, I used to change the music when I would get in my car. Like, if somebody was getting in, I'd be like, oh man, they can't listen to what I listen to. Like, I wonder what they like. Let me put some rap on there. They might think that's cool. I don't do that anymore. If you get in my car, you're listening to metal. It's too bad. It is what it is. If you ask me, hey man, that's a little bit much. Can you change it? Of course, I'll accommodate for you, but I'm not going to change who I am just to try to impress you, because I think you'll like me if I act as, oh, they'll like me more if I listen to their kind of music. No, they'll like me for who I am, and that's all that matters.
Yeah.
I do that when I'm pulling up in traffic, bro. If I go to a red light, I used to turn it down. I used to turn it down. I'm like, oh, don't want to do it.
Jamming, bro.
I turn it down to see better, if that makes any sense. If
It
I'm
does.
lost
That makes
somewhere,
perfect-
I'm like, ooh, I better turn that down so I could see. Well, it makes zero sense at all.
I think it makes perfect sense.
That
But
totally
what I
does
mean?
it.
I can turn down the noise so I can see where I'm at, because I'm crazy.
Yeah. I think let me jump in here real quick. As soon as like Justin and I were talking about this earlier, about the stories we tell ourselves, right? I immediately brought it back to like, because I've had seasons of my life, even from when I was a kid till now, right? And I remember like the first 13, 14 years, I was one person, and then for the next 20 plus years, I was, the person that led me to who I am today, right? So in those 3 different seasons, there was always a story I was telling myself that created my reality, my truth, right? And the first one, I was a younger brother. My older brother got into a lot of trouble, and I got a lot of attention because I got straight A's and I was a good athlete and I did all the right things. So I had this idea of who I had to be. I had to be perfect. I had to get good grades. I had to say the right things. I had to wear the right clothes. I was in all the right circles. I was in all the right clubs, and it was super important to me to meet these expectations I created, so I could, get the attention, be the good kid, get all the love. And so now going into this next season of my life, right, it completely shifted, because what happened is that I got loaded for the first time. And what I didn't realize I had an idea why, I just thought like, I just felt like that this is how life was. It was, you always like felt a little uneasy, or you didn't feel like you're too comfortable. I just thought that's the way it was. And then I got loaded and I was like, huh. I'm like, okay, so this is what I've been missing. And I felt completely at ease. And I'm like, this is what I want to do for the rest of my life. I don't ever want to feel any differently than how I feel right now. And, I went from straight A's, star of the basketball team in all the right circles. And in 1 year, I was kicked out of school, running the streets, selling drugs, using drugs, drinking, the whole nine. And so there started another narrative, right? Another story I told myself. And what's funny is that the two started combating, right? They started fighting each other because I had this one story in my head of who I thought I used to be, and I had this other story of who I was. And the guy who I was trying to get back to who I used to be. And I was never settled, right? And so what do? I just get more loaded so I feel settled. And finally, as the years go by, and this season went on the longest, I assure you, right? Well, repeated prison sentences, letting my family down, letting all my friends down, starting stuff, failing it, not following through. So now I have this story that I'm telling myself like that. This is who I am. I am unworthy, right? I cannot succeed in anything I do. I am always going to be a convict. I'm always going to be, a junkie, excuse the term, but that's what I'm saying right now. I'm always going to be a disappointment. I am unforgivable, unredeemable. This is my lot. I have no chance for anything different, right? And this is a dark, scary story to tell yourself, because what starts happening is this story becomes so true, and I attract every single thing I put into this story. If I say I'm worthless, I attract worthless people. If I say, I'm just going to be a convict, I get in trouble. I attract all of these things I am telling myself until they become, they manifest into my reality. I am my thoughts, right? So of course, I'm going to keep perpetuating the same behavior because that's what I'm telling myself. I am sold on the idea that I am a nobody, that I'm a loser, that I am never going to be any different. And I continually repeat this cycle over and over, doing the same behaviors, attracting the same people, surrounding myself with, just negativity, with people that are just like me, and anything else that comes into my life, I run away. I'm too scared to deal with it. Like if I get somebody good that comes into my life, I am going to do something bad to hurt them, because it's frightening to think that I can have anything good. I don't think I deserve it. I talk about it on here all the time. I don't have a fear of failure. I'm familiar with failure. I have a fear of success. I do not know what it looks like to do well. All I know how to do is to fail over and over again, because that's what I've been doing for so many years. That's the story that's been written, and I am the star of the show, right? And yeah, man. So imagine how difficult the transition, and this is why, that's why I love what Caesar said, and it's something I speak about frequently, man. It's about the power of a connection to my source, to a God, whatever you want to call it. This thing has to be a miracle for me to rewrite my story, right? To pull myself out of this like freaking 3 trilogy, like Lord of the Rings-esque thick book of fucking chaos and madness, and to completely start over, fresh page. What elicits that transition, right? What happens? What has to happen in order for this to occur? And there's a couple things that had to happen. I had to be desperate, broken down, desperate, and pathetic, man. I had to be so beaten with 0 options to even consider picking up a pen and writing something different, correct? So, and then other stuff has to align, because this God that has been saving my life this whole time has kept me breathing, kept me out of trouble, and this thing that I've shunned, made fun of, mocked, that's kept me alive this whole time, shows up in the guise of the police department and arrests my dumbass because I can't stop on my own, right? And then all the pieces start moving, because at that moment I surrender. I say, I am finished. And all it takes, I promise you, to go from that, 20 plus year story into a new story is that small, minuscule, slight shift towards something different, and a bit of willingness, a shift in the other direction, and coupled with some action. I have to get busy. And that's what I did, man. I got into this thing, I surrendered, and I just turned toward the light for the first time. I didn't even know it was the light. I was just turning away from the darkness. You know what I mean? I had no conception of what I was turning towards, but I knew I was turning away from what I felt, because I could not hurt anymore. I was spent, man. And it's not even about what I lost material wise. It's what I lost inside. I had nothing left. I was vacant. Right. So, and I get to turn to this light, and I surrender, and I get busy, and I keep doing this on a daily basis. And all these things start to change, and like Caesar said, and Justin, I'm a product of this story that I've been telling myself for so many years. And I come into this thing broken, bruised, disillusioned. My perception is so skewed, right? I only see through the lens of self-centeredness. How am I going to look to others? How am I going to look saying that I believe in God? That used to be a big deal to me. I'd feel funny talking about God in front of other people. I'd feel funny about saying I'm going to an AA meeting. I'd feel funny about, I still am like this, man. I don't post a lot on Facebook. Or Justin, I think Kelly had to post when I won this award, for a huge deal, right? Because I have these.
You're afraid to be proud of yourself. I remember that.
I have these prejudices, right? I have these preconceived notions, and I am still conditioned to really consider what others think, right? I have to really.
You were saying then, and sometimes we still feel undeserving.
That's it too.
You get all these accolades for legitimate good things that you have done, and people are recognizing the good you're doing, and you're like, oh man, I don't deserve that.
Right.
If they knew who I was, they wouldn't be, but that's the thing, is the picture in your mind is different than the perception of everybody around you.
Right.
The perception of everybody around you is, look at what this guy's doing for our community. Look at the good works he does. Look what a good guy he is. And you're in your head going, I don't deserve these things.
Right. Or I'm an imposter.
I'm an imposter.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't deserve all of this. It was the most awkward thing in the world. My old home group, it doesn't even exist anymore. For their anniversary night, they would let you say your little piece, how'd you do it? And then you'd say how you did it. And then they'd go around the room, and anybody want to say anything? You can either roast Caesar or you can say something nice. I would have rather been roasted in year 1 and 2 than hear all these nice things people had to say about me. I didn't know how to accept the compliments. I felt like the seat was on fire, and I was like, oh man, this is awful. Why is it awful to hear that I'm doing a good job? Why is it awful to hear that I'm becoming a good person? Because we've never been that before.
Right.
And that goes right back to the story. The story in my head to this day is still 30% of the time, I'm a junky piece of crap. Mm-hmm. That's still the story, because I was that for so long. But it's only 30% of the time, where before it was 100% of the time. And it was so foreign to hear somebody give me a compliment that I wanted to run from the compliment. I'm like, who are you talking about? That's not me.
I think, Caesar, that's the difference today, is like the shift for me has been like where I was, consumed with all that, the percentages have shifted, to where, like, when I don't feel like I'm deserving, or I don't feel like I'm worthy, is fleeting. It's not a constant. It comes and goes, and it comes and goes in direct reflection of how strong my spiritual connection is. If I am disconnected or away from my spiritual practices, you know, my multiple spiritual practices, the more in my head I am. You know, I had every chance to be in my head today. Today's a hard day for me. If you guys know, you know. And I chose to get up, pray, meditate, write, go to the gym, and then come over and spend some time with my friends that are my family, you know. And it's these simple practices, you know, I was able to have some grace today and in a very difficult day for me, you know. And it's just amazing how whatever story I tell, like I am alone if I choose to be, if I tell myself I am miserable if I tell myself, I can be angry. It's across the board. It's whatever I choose to be today, I am. And it's just simply that it's just a choice.
Yeah. Do you know, like, I want to say that the one thing that I've came to the realization after I says, I want to hear from Rachel, but I want to read some comments after Rachel. But what I came to the realization is if not accepting compliments from people is me still being fucking selfish.
Yeah.
It's me being selfish because you're not letting them to experience their joy by giving you something. They're giving you a gift of a compliment. It is a gift.
Read the comment. That's what I did, is what Mike just said right there. I couldn't accept the compliment and I shot it down and I hid it under some notion of humility. Oh no, I don't deserve that.
Yeah, it's not humbling. But it's like when I finally accepted it, when I started, like, I would be a joy stealer. I was stealing people's joy. That's just what I was. I was robbing people's joy because that's just what it is, man. And you're being selfish by doing it. It's just like when you don't share celebrations. You know what I mean? When you don't. Whoa.
Let's fix that.
A little too close. I think she was stuck then. She'll come back. She probably got a phone call, I think. But I had to realize, once I realized that, man, like I had to, and it's okay, man. As long as our motives are in the right place, man, it's okay, you know, and you have to let that be. But let's read some comments real quick and then wait for Rachel to come back.
And Justin, before you take off, though, I had a thought when you were saying, like, how being selfish, not to accept the compliment. Imagine how hard it is for somebody to come up that doesn't know you to give the compliment. That's hard, you know, like to go up to somebody and be like, hey, man, it's awkward, especially if they don't know you. You know, the least we could do is say,
and then we're just like, no, absolutely.
Yeah, I know how hard that is. I feel awkward.
She's back. She's back,
sorry,
baby.
Guys. I told you I'm technologically challenged. So sorry.
You and me both, kid.
Did you see what was going on before the show, bro? Like, you ain't gotta be sorry around here.
Sorry.
Yeah. Hey,
well, we were just saying that we're gonna read some comments and then we want to hear from you.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm gonna go with Dustin. Says that number one thing that's the number one thing that my fellowship has given me. Today I feel accepted and I know I deserve it.
Yes, you do.
Tiffany, I'm so in love with this journey and learning to enjoy being my real naked self around anyone, regardless. So much freedom.
Freedom. Yeah.
We got Dear Recovery in the house. What's up, Dear Recovery? Adriana. Let's see, we got Mike Kenny, man. Extremely relatable. It's so hard for me to let people be proud of me for literally anything sometimes.
We're all proud of you. Congrats.
Congratulations, Mike.
Yeah,
shout out to Mike. 1 year.
We're
proud of you.
So proud.
So
don't try to hide it under the guise of humility. We're proud of you, and there's nothing you can do about it.
You're a badass.
Not a lick, bro. They got Lynn. Hey guys, Nate, I'm so proud of you. You are rocking tonight.
I love you, Lynn. I miss you.
We got Erica. Erica. Let's go. Yeah, it's hard to accept compliments. Just roast me. Erica in the house. Yo, she belongs.
I love that you rolled with that. Thank you so much.
Now I feel like we need to get her to come on with us.
There you go.
Hey, her whole Facebook, her social media, everything's gonna change.
Yeah,
she's gonna introduce herself. I'm Erica. That's awesome. Well done,
Oh,
Caesar.
yes. It's never gonna
Oh,
get old
Jesus.
for me. It's
Damn,
never gonna
Steve.
get old. You are a
Look at
great
me.
person, Caesar. Don't know about Nate, but you and Justin are great. Man, what
How you
happened
gonna
to
do
the
Captain Nate like that?
Yeah,
Yeah,
what
I'm
happened
not
to Captain
Captain
Nate?
Nate anymore. I don't know why.
Damn,
dude.
Nate. What'd you do, bro?
I don't know. I send him my gratitude every morning, man. I don't know what he's talking about.
The hair,
Oh,
the hair.
Maybe he's
He's having
tired
hair
of
problems.
yes.
Kelly, it says it's still super hard for me to accept that kind of attention.
You and me both.
Yeah, Dustin says that imposter syndrome plagued me for so much early in my recovery. A lot of it was my ego. I expected so much from myself, like I was God or something, and anything less was unacceptable and would reveal to the world how much of a piece of shit I was. But I know who I am today. I'm exactly who I claim to be, and there's no reason to be afraid because I no longer feel like an imposter.
Yeah.
And you know, it's funny, man. It's like I have friends now that I'm aware of my own stuff, like the way I speak to myself and the way I speak out loud. Like I have to stop myself, and I sometimes I do it to my friends now too, unfortunately. But that's just the way it is. I'm like, no, you're not. You're not. Like, and then
Yeah,
they
you got me this week, Justin.
Yeah, and I don't mean to. It's just like I'm practicing it in my own life, and I hear it in somebody else's. I'm like, no, that's wrong. It's false. It's false.
Yeah.
I know it for a fact because I see you. You know. And that's that's called a friend. Like we're not co-signing, just let them slide. No, shut that shit down. You gotta shut that shit down.
Yeah.
It's working.
I'm that friend.
And that's where we hang out. Let's see. And Helen says that's so true, Nate. If I'm not connected, I'm a mess.
Oh, wait. Happy anniversary, Helen.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Happy anniversary.
So proud of you.
I mean, we are proud. Yeah, I mean, she's out there blazing a path for us, though.
Yeah, she'll
Showing us how
accept
it's
the
done.
compliment.
Yes, she will. Let's see. We have kidding about Nate. I was told to stop living my story and start living my life.
Damn right.
Boom.
Damn, that's it. That's all right. It's a wrap for tonight, guys. No, I'm just
Yeah,
kidding.
we're gonna close with that. Thanks, Steve.
Thanks for sharing. Oh, we gotta give a shout out real quick to Sober Now and Look at You Now, doing beautiful things. I love you. All right, Rachel.
My
You're
turn.
not frozen. You're not frozen.
All right, I'm gonna go. So I was like a little nervous about this topic, but like listening to you guys helps, and I can relate to a little bit of what each of you said. Like I was thinking about it, and I feel like my biggest issue has always been like insecurity. Since I was a kid, and I don't know if it's something like I created, like Nate was saying. I think there's a part of that to it. Like I reinforced that through my thinking and everything. Like I remember even as a small kid telling my brother and sister that I was the mailman's kid. Like I always had myself set apart. Like I always cast myself in this role that I didn't fit. And on the inside, I didn't feel like I fit. I didn't feel like I fit in my family. You know, I was the only one that looked different. And that just carried through in my life. Like I became the redheaded foster child, you know, and like my sense of security, there was no real sense of security as a kid. So I didn't have a real opportunity to build a strong sense of self or to even understand how to do that. Like every time I would have a little bit of security, it was taken and the guarding would come up. And like that's still me to this day. Like I have walls. My walls have walls. You know what I mean? Like I'm a very open and loving person pouring into other people, but I'm very careful about who I let too far pour into me, or like, you know, that I take as a part of me, because as soon as I see that there's some reason to be scared, or like there's some sabotage, or there's some reason that my security is not safe, the walls go up. Like, and I guess it's a mask, it's an armor, like, and good luck getting through that again, you know? And that like played through my whole life. And I feel like I did become a victim in my own mind. Like I was a victim of life. I was the redheaded foster child, stepchild that, you know, was different, didn't fit. I didn't fit in school. I was picked on in school for my red hair. And so I just became more aggressive and tougher, and like I armored up, and that was my mask that kept people at a safe distance. Like, you only pick at me once and you wouldn't do it again, and that's not a good thing. That served to isolate me for the majority of my life, and it kept me safe though. So that was my mask. And I had a lot of issues like connecting with people or being around people. I was a weirdo from the time I was a kid. I still am, talking about spirits, even as a child. Like, people would find that weird. And I don't know how much of that, like, I kept going, you know what I mean? Like, becoming a victim of nobody wants to be near me, or if I see a threat of possibly you hurting me, I'm going to put you all the way over here so you can't, and I still do that today. Like, there's people in my life that I do that with, and that victim thing only got me to that point, like Nate was talking about, in active addiction, where I was like so beaten down and devoid of anything, any light, any love, like I was just a shell trying to survive, and inflicting most of the stuff on myself, and having no concept that I was literally creating my own problem and my own pain, until I hit that moment of surrender, and like I had that brutal rock bottom, where I felt God, and like there was no more denying that I had a God that was with me through my whole life, and trying to save me from all the stuff that I was creating. And it wasn't until I went to those first meetings that I felt safe as me. Like, I showed up to those first meetings so traumatized and broken and shot out and like just on fire and pain and fear, that I opened my mouth and I didn't care how crazy I sounded to everybody, talking about like fighting a spiritual battle for my soul. I didn't care. And like, I was welcomed with like love, genuine love and acceptance for the first time in my life, like for exactly who I was, even the hot mess that I was, and that's powerful stuff, man. Like, once you have that where you're embraced in all your brokenness and dirt and grime and tears, and like, that's so powerful. Like, from that moment on, I think I just kept opening up. Like, I don't care how weird I look to people today. Like, my spirituality and my connection with my higher power is my number one. So like, if I feel like I want to go touch a tree and talk to a tree and tell a tree how much I love it in the middle of a baby shower, I'm going to do it. And I don't care what anybody thinks about it, because that's a connection that I experience, magic and acceptance of who I am. And I'd like to say that for me, it starts all with my higher power too. Like, today, life is life, and people are going to hurt you. People are going to let you down. People are going to push you away. Like, I could be a victim, or I can lean into my higher power when I don't understand what's happening in my life or why things are going the way they are. And like, that source never lets me down, man. Like, I am loved and accepted even when I screw up, and I'm guided to how to do it right, how to make amends and change the way I am. And the peeling away of the layers and growing through all this process in recovery has been like the most beautiful experience of my entire life. Like, focusing in the beginning on being completely vulnerable with just my sponsor, because that was the only human being that I deemed safe in the beginning. Like, my sponsors got a version of me that nobody else in my life gets. Like, they got no walls. There was absolute trust, no walls. And like, that relationship has taught me how to slowly do that in other relationships in my life. And when I recognize my walls slam up, to do my best to like, work through that, so that my boundaries don't have to shock people around me just because I'm trying to keep myself safe.
Rachel, did this instant with the tree happen today?
Yes.
I know.
It happens every day. It pretty much happens on any day that ends in a Y, but yeah. That was
I want to say that, Rachel, that's the one reason that I just love the shit out of you, because you don't like, nope. You can just tell you're just you just flow.
Listen, that was 43 years of absolute hell that it took to get to that, where I just don't care. 43 years of absolute mental torture and battling within myself to get to that point where I just don't care.
Yeah, and that's the freedom too. Like that freedom you experience when you finally can be your authentic self. not only that, but what you said is so true, Rachel, that moment of acceptance, when you bring your most darkest, haunting, terrifying secret self to somebody and they're like, yeah, me too. I understand. Yeah. And you're, for once, you're like, holy shit, I am not alone. I'm not alone unless I choose to be. And there's freedom in that connection, man. That's why I always, like, guys that I'm working with that are just coming in, man, make these uncomfortable phone calls, connect with others, man, because if you don't know your source yet, that's how you get to it, is through those relationships.
Dude, I remember, Rachel, your day one.
Oof.
Remember having to show up to that function?
Yeah.
But your ass walked in there and did it.
And took a shower.
Yeah. I don't know how you put it out there, but like her day one.
It was bad.
She got picked up and the only place to go was where we were. And
it was COVID lockdown. Like, that's when I found out about lockdown. Your wife had me tripping that there was like zombies or something. I was not okay.
Oh my, I remember that though. And I was like, how freaking brave. Like, I don't know if I could have done that. Like, I don't know if I could have done what you did. And
that was desperation, pure desperation. Like, I was still so desperate.
You're like, I stink and I don't want to go in there. And you're like, but whatever, I guess, if I have to. And you freaking did. But you've done that continually through this whole thing. You've just faced shit and overcome. And I mean, like, say I'm proud of you is a freaking understatement. Like, I can't really put into words the way I feel about watching your recovery, but it's just been, it's been a blessing. You have been a blessing to watch, and then to watch Russell come in.
Yeah, Russell. I was just about to say.
It's just like, you guys make me so freaking happy every time I see you.
Every time. When I see them, any celebration, memory, whatever it might be, I'm like, fuck yeah, man, that's what it's about.
Listen,
he always belonged here. He just didn't know it. He always belonged here. He just didn't know it.
when I see Rachel or Russell at a meeting, I'm like, oh yes, I belong. No, there's times, man, when I don't feel like I belong, but like, there's certain people that you vibe with that you just feel like you said, safe, safe. Like, you feel safe with people. Because listen,
I love your goofy self, Justin.
my weirdo self. Listen, because I'm suspect of everybody. Everybody's suspect in my world. Like, it's just what it is. And I don't mean to. It's those walls I got up. And that's why I shared in the meeting the other day, like, I'll take forever just to talk to people because I get too weirded out, man. I get too weird. And then, like, it's already done. And then 5 years later, I'm like, man, it's too late. I shared about that.
You want to see quality recovery? Look at who was having the most fun at the recovery walk.
Woo, heck yeah.
It was y'all's crew. Y'all were turned up the entire time. You brought the energy, and your energy spread out. But it started with y'all's energy right there. And I was like, man, this is what I'm talking about.
That was so much fun.
Yeah.
Speaking of recovery walk, we got a recovery walk coming up September 23rd. If you're in the area, in the vicinity of Tampa, Florida, a little north Tampa, Florida, at Newport Richey, we're having a recovery walk in Newport Richey. And, man, we'd love to try to get anybody possible to come there and support and just walk for recovery. It's about unity. It's about showing up. It's about stronger together, because that's what it's about, man. And I'd love to see more people come out from other areas. It'd be cool, man, just to make this thing big, So if you guys are, we have it up on the page, we have the walk. It's right there at the top of the page. It should be, I don't know, up and coming events. It shows it right there. You can click going. You find out the directions, everything. You want to get involved. You want to be a volunteer, whatever that looks like. We have Melissa from Sober Now is going to be one of the speakers. Okay. We have another Sonia Johnson from Sarasota is going to come up and be a speaker. We got so many other speakers. We're going to have lots of speakers. Like, it's going to be a great event. So I want to plug that in there.
We'll probably have Russell on some kind of motorized vehicle.
The
entire place.
And this badass is gonna be
Yes, thank you.
speaking. Yep. Mm-hmm. It's gonna be great. I'm excited. I'm
April
excited.
Cakes is speaking.
Yep, she is.
Justin,
Oh.
are you gonna do some
Oh,
comments?
Erica is in Fort Lauderdale. Yo, let's go.
Come on over.
Let's go.
Let's go. Like, we'll all trade off events. That's what we should be doing anyways. That's how we really boost up this community, this recovery community, is going to each other's events, showing up, supporting. Let's happen. Let's make it happen. You know, that's what it's about. So anyway, sorry, I got on that kick.
We just crowned you with like the coolest nickname ever. You know, you got to come see us.
Least you could do.
Yeah, I think there's bumper stickers need to happen because of that.
Yeah, I'm talking about shirts, merch, everything.
Oh, Caesar, you're the best. I swear. The things you come up with.
Hey, man, my mind is a scary place, but you know, some funny stuff comes out sometimes.
Every once in a while. You just can't remember passwords, but whatever.
Nope, not unless they're absolutely ridiculous. That's the only way I can remember them.
Redonkulous? No.
Yes.
Close.
Close enough.
Close. It's PG-13 kind. Let's see. Let's read some comments real quick. We got all right, let me go back here. Oh, we got Jamie. Is the 23rd of next month would be my 1 year.
Awesome.
Well, heck yeah.
Congratulations.
Yep. Let's see. Oh, we got Tina. Hey, good to see you. I've known her forever. I seen her this morning, so it's good to see you too. Let's see. We got Beth says yes, easy to pour out, not easy to allowing others to pour into me. Kelly says, Rachel, you make me feel much less alone talking about those things out loud.
I love you.
We have to talk about them out loud, because if not, man, this is a silent battle. You know, it's a silent battle, and everybody's going through the same shit. And we find out we're not terminally unique anymore, and we're not alone ever. Ruth House says, we love you, Rachel. Keegan, you're a beaming light.
Yes, you are.
We got Rita Sellers. I really resonated with this subject. Well, thanks for being here. There it is. And Lindsay says, and it was a beautiful tree, and I loved witnessing your moment, Rachel. Sometimes I feel like somebody's watching me.
You're talking to rocks too. It's whatever.
It's whatever, exactly.
Don't worry about it.
Rachel, you are a rock star and a beacon of light for so many. The way you recover out loud and have shared your journey was an inspiration to me while I was still in my addiction. You gave me hope, and I will always have you as part of my story. I truly look up to you in this program and am blessed to have you in my life.
Beautiful.
Love you, Jamie.
We got Claire from It's Okay to Be Late. You can always watch the replay anyways. In Quebec, Canada.
Thanks for joining in.
Wow. Heck yeah.
Hello from Florida, eh?
Probably like, fuck.
Well, you're my people too. Justin Pat is my people.
Shut up,
Safe
clown.
place. All right. Dustin can't wait for the recovery walk either. Let's see. Yeah, we got Sober Now is gonna be driving from North Carolina. Worth the drive. Hell yeah. See? She could drive from North Carolina. Come on.
Yeah, you can come from Fort Lauderdale, Erica.
Oh, we just rocked at it at a Sober Fest down here. Really? Man.
You got to message us and tell us what everybody, if there's some event going on in Florida that we have no clue, I mean, just assume we have no clue.
Yeah.
Send it in Messenger and let us know. And if we can show up, we'll show up.
We usually have no clue.
Yeah, we're busy. We have no idea what's going on.
Yeah, pretty much.
No, wait. That's not the story I want to tell myself today. I love you too, Steve.
We have to recognize
Captain Nate.
I love you too, Steve, so much.
Oh, we got Mr. Jonathan Newman. Only late to your first one.
Yeah.
Let's see. We got Kathy from Pasadena, Maine.
Maryland.
Maryland, sorry.
You'll be all right, Justin.
I'm gonna be okay.
Keep coming back, bro.
Listen, I don't tell myself I'm a reader. I'll tell you that in my story.
Oh, here you go. Oh, yeah. Sorry. Overdose awareness, Ocala, Florida, 8:31, 6 p.m. on the square.
Don't be square.
Don't be square. Be there.
That's it.
That's it.
Recovery on the square was lit.
Oh, yeah. We got Will. What's up, Will?
What up, though?
All right, man. Well, that's it for tonight, man.
I have a closing thought, though.
You go.
I think maybe we'll all do one. I like the idea of a closing thought.
We could like Jerry Springer type closing final thought.
No, I was just thinking, man, how much my story has changed. And that's like kind of, I was ending up there. We got sidetracked. But anyway, how my story today is nothing like it used to be. And how today that I know that I deserve to have this life. I give guys, I hear it all the time, and around this arena of recovery, like how you doing, man? Better than I deserve. I hate that shit. No, you deserve, if you're putting in the work, you're meeting God halfway, you're helping others. We deserve this life. We've earned it. We've gone from nothing to being standing members of our society or of our community, helping others. Of course you deserve whatever blessings. God wants you to have these gifts. Why am I going to say I don't deserve them? I have to change that story, because guess what? Anybody that's coming into this thing that doesn't feel like they earned it or they deserve it or they're worthy of it, I promise you I felt the same way, and I don't feel that way anymore. Which is not to say I don't have fleeting moments where I have self-doubt and self-limiting beliefs, but that is why I continually improve my conscious contact with my source so I can combat that insecurity, those fears, break down the walls, just like Rachel does, just like she mentioned. That's all I wanted to say. Everybody can rewrite their story, and you can be whatever you want. Believe me, if you guys knew my whole story, you would know that this thing not only is a miracle, but that anything is possible. And that goes for everybody on this screen.
And with that, we can say that you have to break down what's real and what's not. What is real about you? But if you're not doing any work to uncover those realness about you, about who you really are, then you're getting the same thing. You're getting the same thing over and over. And the things that you tell yourself, you're going to keep reaffirming that this is who you are, when it's bullshit. It's a bullshit story, right? But we have to find out the truth of who we are. And in order to do that, we have to unravel. I mean, and it's not you're talking 23 years of addiction I was in. 23 fucking years. I ain't going to unravel it in 6 months, I'll tell you that. It ain't gonna unravel. I'm 5 years into this thing.
I'm still unraveling.
Looking the surface. You know what I mean? And it's okay. Be gentle. It's okay. If you're 5 years into it, you're like, why am I so miserable and I'm so crazy and this, that, and the other thing? It's okay. Some of us get it right away and some of us take a little bit. I used to beat myself up because it took me so long to try to get this thing. And everybody's like in kumbaya mode. And I'm over here like, what the fuck? Buckled up like I'm on a fucking roller coaster. And it's okay. It's okay. Like there's no rule book. Everybody's just doing the best they fucking can. And there's no instruction manual. There's no this is the way. This is if you got it figured out, you fucked. I'll tell you right now. Right? If you got it figured out, you fucked.
That's a sure.
I never figure this thing out. I hope I'm always working towards bettering. And because you know what? That's where it's at, man. That's where it's at. And that's it. So that's what
Caesar.
That's my sense.
Caesar, and then Rachel, take us out. Come on.
Yeah, let's do this.
Final thoughts, Caesar.
I mean, yeah, you pretty much just wrapped it up. Change your narrative. That's it. Change your belief system. Change who you are through action and through faith, and that's all you got to do. And the ride is absolutely incredible. And what I thought I wanted and what I thought recovery was going to look like, I would have sold myself short, and I was wrong. So just change your story. Ooh, Kelly's back here saying thoughts create reality.
Yeah.
Kelly said that. I love you, Kelly.
Kelly, come give us your
I love
closing.
you, Kelly.
I just got out of the shower, I'll say hi,
You don't
but
say hi.
I'm in my pajamas with wet hair.
All right, I'll give my closing thought then, once I have it. So
Damn it, there it went.
I feel like my biggest issue my whole life has also been that self-doubt and like fear of success. And I've played small with my own life because of that, because I believe the lies that I tell myself that like I can't be successful or I'll never get it right. And like inactive addiction, like that took me to where I was like the one addict that even the addicts didn't want to be around. You know what I mean? Like I was that much of it. Like that's who I was. Like my dealer wanted to take me to rehab,
Mine did.
so like when I got here, like it's a process and it's slow. Like I started taking small risks, that weren't so scary. You know what I mean? Like I took a few years and then I jumped into going back to school, and I'm going for my bachelor's degree. And like, now I'm stepping out of working at Dunkin' for my whole life and trying to like, go for an interview for a real job, to build a career. And like, I'm taking these, they seem like small steps, but they're big and they're scary for me, but they are what the action that is reaffirming my belief in myself, so that when I am faced with something, I don't automatically go into that mode where I'm beating myself down and like failing before I even try, that's what I got.
How amazing is it to be optimistic about our future and not dread it? Holy crap.
Imagine that.
Imagine that.
How it blows my mind. I didn't even like just listening to you right there. Like, we have shit to look forward to. There is blessings coming. Like, we are growing, we are learning, we're becoming new creatures, and there's stuff to freaking look forward to, when all I did was dread to open my eyes in the morning before. Now I'm excited for what's coming. And
I had to fix the inside before I was ready for the outside stuff to take off. Like,
I wouldn't have been ready for this.
well,
I
you,
wasn't ready for all the shiny object stuff on the outside. I had to make sure this was okay.
you did it the right way. You did it the right way, because you can build up the outside and still be dying inside.
I can burn that to the ground too, like that. I can burn it.
But
Like,
now you're on a
nobody's business.
foundation that can't be burned down.
That's right.
Man, this is like Steve said right here, lit tonight. Yes.
Yeah, this was fire. Thank you so much for coming on, Rachel.
Yeah.
You added
you guys.
a perfect element.
Bro, we need Rachel.
It's that
We-
gorgeous
we-
red hair of yours.
We need to come up with like
a whole vibe.
we need a payment plan. We need to get you like at least like almost like a parenting thing. We need you at least 2 nights out of the month, or like,
Anytime.
Yo, thank you so much.
I love the Hope Shot.
Yeah. Man, I hope you guys got something out of this. If you didn't,
I did.
You need to rewatch it, or you
I
came
love
in
you
halfway. But man, this has been such a great episode, and it's so true that we just need to change some things, man. It's just a little bit of change to go a long way, man. So this week, man, I challenge y'all to watch how you talk to yourself. Change that inner dialogue, change the story, you could rewrite it right now. Like all it takes is action right now, right this minute. That's it. Tomorrow's a new day. Start practicing some things. And if you haven't and you don't, meditation is where it's at. So I challenge you guys this week. Just do that. Do little simple things, man, to start feeding your soul and start feeding you and your mind and your spirit and everything. And that's it for tonight. So catch us next Sunday, 8 p.m. live right here on the Hope Shot. And we have a special thing coming up this Tuesday. I'm going to be doing something for accountability courts with Sober Now, Dear Recovery, and Sonia. We're going to be talking about, because we all been through the accountability courts, drug courts, parental courts, all those things courts. And we're going to do like an inspirational thing and try to get our message out there. And it's going to turn into a video and a presentation, a keynote, and just all kinds of things. We got a good project going on. It's going to be great. So tune in for that. It's going to be amazing. So I love y'all. Hey, Rachel, stay on, by the way. Don't log out. Okay. Okay. Love y'all.
I love you guys.
Bye.